Welcome to Bunnyfish Crafts. I'm your host Heather, known as Bunnyfish on Ravelry, Instagram, and YouTube. Today is Tuesday, the 31st of May, 2016, and this is episode 181, Crushed. Grab some sticks and string and come sit with me. So, I actually already recorded half of this podcast this morning. I did the finished object / work in progress segment, and then I had to leave for brunch with Steve's mom. She has the kids right now, and she has them for a few hours. So I recorded all of that before we left, but apparently it's not there, says my computer, which is very frustrating. So anyway, why am I crushed this week? Well, it's the week of the ZK, and I can't go because family stuff came up, and I am really, really super upset about it. Kind of avoiding social media right now because everybody's excited about going and I'm bitter about not going. And yeah, I mean, it's just a knitting thing, but I've been looking forward to it all year. So I'm pretty heartbroken. In other news, my birthday was on Saturday and I turned 30. It was a pretty good birthday. People at work made a big deal about it, which is crazy because people never make a big deal about my birthday ever. So it was kind of nice. I got balloons and I was fed dinner and cake, and a girl at work made me Darth Vader cookies and cheesecake cupcakes, and not like cupcakes, but like little mini cheesecakes in cupcake wrappers, and some chocolates. And we have these candles at the store that I super love, but they're $3 for a pack of 4 little monsters, and I just can't buy that. But she bought them and put them in the cheesecake cupcakes, so that was fabulous, and it's a really nice birthday. But I'm so bummed out right now. I'm so crushed because obviously my normal group of friends who I see there would be there, except for one. But there were also a bunch of people who are coming for the first time, who I've known online for a while and haven't met in person, and I was really looking forward to that. I don't know. I'm going to stop because I feel like a whiny baby, because I am feeling like a whiny baby. So let's do the small things winner. I already drew because I already recorded. So I'm not going to go through that again and not let this person win. And the winner is Anne, who is Anne Fran 25, post 149, and it is for a baby sock. And she was actually the very last post into the thread this morning when I finished writing down all of the things. So congratulations, Anne. Get in touch. Let me know what prize you want, and I'll get it to you as quickly as I can or get it into the right hands. Okay, so finished objects. I finished lots of things. The first one I don't have to show you. Wednesday was the last day of school. And Tuesday night, after I got home from work at midnight, I decided I absolutely had to make a teacher present because my son's teacher is really great. And so I decided to get those cup thingies that turn mason jars into basically adult sippy cups. And I had the mason jar, so I put the mason jar with the lid together, and I put a whole lemon in there, just a lemon off the shelf, and then a few different types of tea, and then I made a jar cozy for it. And it was made out of this cotton right here, which is Lily Sugar and Cream. I don't remember the colorway and I didn't write it down. But it had 3 rounds of crocodile stitch around the bottom, so kind of looked like flower petals, and then just double crochet around the top. And I finished that at about 3:15 in the morning. And I was like, oh, the lighting is terrible. I'll take a picture in the morning. And then I didn't remember about taking a picture until about 10 minutes after Gabriel had gotten on the bus. So, yeah. But you'll be able to see something similar soon. So I don't have that one to show you. I'm sorry. I also finished the Care Bear cross stitch. I was so close last week. Of course I finished it. I just had the white of this cloud and it's all finished. I don't know if you can see. Oh yeah, I think you can tell that that's stitched in. So the Care Bear is finished, though not fully finished because I kind of want to make it as like a birth announcement sort of thing, and there are no babies right this minute. I also finished the little Christmas tree, and it's fully finished. It's, you know, ready to be an ornament to hang on a door or on a Christmas tree or whatever. I took the cross stitch, I put a little bit of batting behind it and then just sewed down the sides from a piece of fabric, which is the same fabric that I made the Christmas tree for the Advent calendar for. And then I finished the market bag. I didn't realize I had made so much progress on this. Just a few stitches here and there over the past month because I haven't shown you guys this in a while. But here it is, and it is pretty huge. It is made out of peaches and cream. This is the pageantry color. This is how much I had left on my cone. And yeah, it's a pretty good sized market bag. It's kind of huge. And I'll be making a second one from the same pattern, which is not a pattern, it's just something I made up. But I made a pretty solid base so that things couldn't fall through, and it goes up for a few rounds on the side so that things can't fall through, because I hate when that happens when you have like a market bag sort of thing. All the little things fall to the bottom and then fall out. It's not very helpful. So market bag number 1 is completed, and market bag 2 will be started soon. I also finished spinning my Stitch Punk fiber. So this is 100% super fine merino in the colorway Bubble Wrap, and Stitch Punk has nothing in her shop. I don't even think her shop exists on Etsy anymore. So that's unfortunate because it's really beautiful. She was a either Australian or New Zealand dyer. I can't remember because I bought it during my first Tour de Fleece. I was going to spin this as a 2-ply fractal, but then decided to do a chain ply instead to keep those color blocks together. It's a little bit damp, which means it's a little cool, which is not actually bad right now. I'm kind of warm. It's hot outside. But anyway, yeah, I chain plied this so that the color blocks would stay together, and I'm going to make in June the Buffalo Crossing cowl. It's my pattern. I'm making 2 cowls because Diane Suburban Stitcher is hosting her Around Your Neck knit along, craft along. So I'll be making 2 cowls for that. One of them will be using this. And it is damp because this morning when I recorded, I had it on my nitty knotty, and then I immediately took it off before we left and soaked it and then hung it up to dry. And then I came back and there was no file. So it's still damp. Before it was washed and everything, it was 168 yards from 4 ounces. So worsted, maybe? I don't know. Perfect for the cowl where gauge doesn't really matter, and I can just make it work. That's so pretty. This was my oldest fiber in my Ravelry stash. So, but now it's all spun up and used up, and yeah. Okay, on to works in progress. I have a bunch. And my desk is unorganized because I sat down and I was like, oh. I was sitting down planning to save the file and import and stuff, but I have to record instead, so I didn't bother cleaning my desk. Sorry if it's a little scattered as I show you these things. So I worked on the Frankenstein socks, which I'm making out of Haley's yarn, which is leftovers from Haley. She sent me a whole bunch of them at Christmas, and one is 5 rounds taller than the other right now. the dangling stitch markers are showing you where I was last week. So here, I'll show you the bigger one so you can get a better sense of the colors close up. I don't know what these mini skeins are, what types they are, but they are lovely. I really like the idea of Franken socks, and everybody's doing them. So I resisted doing them for a long time until Tracy posted her Franken socks, and I was like, oh yeah, that's it. So mine are not just random skeins on either sock, they're matching. I'm working them in tandem because some of the balls of yarn came to me like this. So my ball winder is broken again because Mara touched it. So I can't rewind the skeins, so I can't work from inside and outside. So I'm just working them one at a time on my 9-inch circulars, and that's working out fine. I'm doing about 5 rounds a day on them, and I'm doing increments of 5 for the number of rounds that I'm knitting per color. So I did the toe, and then the first color was 5 rounds, and then the second color was 10 rounds. This third color is going to be 10 rounds. I think that the next color, which is this right here, might be 15 rounds because it's a really long color repeat, but I haven't decided yet. We'll see how I feel when I get to 10. I worked on the String Band by Stephen West, and it is not touching needles right now because I just finished the top edge, which is it's a casing for an I-cord. So I have to make an I-cord and run it through there, and then I have to pick up for a button band and knit the button band, and then this will be finished. I really want this finished because it's my entry into the Foxes and Socks adventure knit along, whatever, where they picked 5 things for me, 5 criteria for me to meet out of a hat, and this does. It's got lace, it's got white, self-striping, fingering weight, and it's a hat. So that's all 5 things in this hat. I just have to finish it and enter it. All I need to do is button band, an I-cord, and sew buttons on. I can do this. This is finishable by tonight. It's only a little after 12 right now, so I have plenty of time. This morning when I woke up, I didn't have the casing done, so I think I'll be okay, especially because I think it's about 10 rows for the button band, and that's it. And I think it's less than 100 stitches, so only 1,000 stitches to go on this hat, plus sewing on buttons. And I only have this end to weave in, which I'm just going to stick in the casing. So yeah, I don't even have ends to weave in. Oh, lies. I have 1 end to weave in. So should be finishable by tonight. And this is where I was last week. So I did all of this stripey bit this week. The eyelets, did I say already that the eyelets are not part of the pattern? I just added those in so it would fit the lace requirement because the eyelets are not. I just threw those in. Josh was looking at it last night because he was like, I remember you talking about the string band on your podcast, but I don't think I actually looked at it while you were talking about it. So I showed it to him and he was like, I don't remember that having eyelets in it. And I was like, that's because I added those in. That story doesn't have anything to do with anything. It just tells you that I couldn't remember. That is why I couldn't remember whether I had told you it had eyelets in it or not. So that's the hat. And I will be working diligently on that. The I-cord will be fast. It's going to be the button band that kills me because it's a button band and it's ribbing and it's picking up stitches. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I just need to not be a baby about it. Worked on the Steampunkery, which is a pattern by Heatherly Walker, and it is it's knit using 716 knit, 716 sock in the colorway Hell Hath No Fury, Like a Woman Scorned for Sega, which I love this yarn. If you are making cable-licious socks, I highly recommend Jenna's yarn. The 716 sock has super high twist, so those cables just pop. There's so much stitch definition. It's beautiful, beautiful yarn for that, and just beautiful because Jenna's a genius. This yarn is the ZK colorway for last year, so I'm kind of like, today about working on it. I haven't put in the 2 rounds that I put in every day, but I will, but I'm just like, I can't be there. I'm such a whiny baby right now. I apologize for that. I'm also low energy, and since I've already talked about everything, I don't remember all the little things that I mentioned. I'm trying to remember. I'm so sorry about that, guys. Yeah, that's the steampunkery. They will be, let's see, I just started the last pattern repeat. So once I finish the pattern repeat, it should be to the toes, hopefully. And if it'll definitely be to the toes. Hopefully it's not too long. But if it is like onto where the toe decreases normally would be, I'll either start the toe decreases on the sides here where these cables are and just wing it, or I'll do a really, really short decrease section on the toe, which doesn't bother me when I do that because I have really wide toes. I also started a jar cozy for myself because I really love my jar sippy cup. It is awesome. This is the bottom part of it. This is yarn that was left over from a dishcloth that I made like 4 years ago or something for my cousin when he was serving overseas. It was before we moved to this place, so a while ago. And I don't even think I was podcasting then, but this is a peaches and cream colorway. And then I'm using the pageantry, enough to make 3 layers of crocodile stitch, or until I run out, whichever comes first. And then I'll switch over to the blue to finish off the jar cozy. So you'll see a jar cozy next week and you'll have an idea-ish of what her jar cozy looked like, although mine's going to be made out of a bunch of scrappy things. And hopefully I won't have used too much of the blue cotton in other things so that I won't be able to finish the market bag. It'll be okay. I can always get more of the blue cotton. It's fine. It will be useful. So yeah, jar cozy, that doesn't look like anything. I also worked on the garland. Hey, you guys, I'm super excited. I met both of my resolutions, the 4 hours of working on things. I met both of those this month. So the first one was the garland, and it was putting in 4 hours on this, and I did. These are the beads that I've put on since last week. So, don't have that bottom one in. Awkward. Okay, there we go. All of them are in the shot? Yes, all of them are in the shot. So I did that much on this side and less on the other side. Only this many on this side. But I did actually 2 more beads than I needed to make my 4-hour goal. And I was counting with Haley yesterday, and I needed somewhere between 50 and 60 beads still. So this is totally finishable by Christmas. And if it gets to December-ish, like if I just do a couple every month, like maybe one a week even, if I do that, and then one a day in November or something, this should be really, really close to finished for Christmas, which would be nice. I might actually do a couple before I put this away for this coming month. I also worked on the advent calendar, which is right here. And as you can see, I moved the hoop over. It was in the center portion of the tree, so it was over here. But now it is on the corner. So I'm making really decent progress on that, but I'm going to take it out of the hoop now because I'm going to set it aside for the month because I'm not working on Christmas ornaments this coming month. And I'll talk about that at the end. I'm going to talk about all of my plans for June that I haven't mentioned already at the end of the podcast. So in case you're interested, it'll be there. And if you're not interested and just want to see it when it happens, you don't have to stay. The other project that I worked on is still in my purse because I was out and about in the world. Hold on, let me grab it. The child tube socks for Cecilia. Here they are. Here they are. Okay, so this is where I was last week, where the little airplane is, and the stitch marker has nothing to do with anything. That's just where I put it so it would be out of the way. I am about 40% of the way finished with these socks. I don't think I'll be able to finish them tonight. This and the hat are the last two projects on my blanket for the month of May. Should be able to finish the hat. I should be able to put decent progress on this tonight, but I probably won't finish it because, again, I have less than 12 hours until the end of the month, so we'll see how that goes. But I did finish the first ribbing section, so I'm in the second ribbing section of the sock. And I don't know how tall I'm going to make them. I kind of want to just make it as big as this ball of yarn will let me, but I'm not sure yet. We shall see next week when they'll be finished. Because if I don't finish them today, I'm going to finish them within the next several days. All right, that is all of my works in progress. On to modular projects. I have been kicking butt on those. I made 2 barn raising squares this week. So this is 75 and 76. This is the colorway that's going into my Franken socks next. And this was the colorway of the toes. So this is why I'm not sure how many rounds I want to make it, because I kind of love all of those colors and I think they would look nice in my socks. But I don't know. We'll see when I actually get to knitting. I did 2 squares on my blanket. So here's one and here's the other. Both of them were scraps from Haley, and it's not showing up super blue on camera. It's not a super blue square, but it does have blue in it. It's not just brown. So that takes me up to 33 mitered squares, and I made 11 hexapuffs this week, which makes sense because last week I made 10, and then this week I had an extra day in there. So here we go. Most of them are Haley yarns. So these 2 are Haley, Haley, Haley. There's some celebratory puffs in there. I think I just called them squares, and they're definitely not squares. Haley, 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 Haley. Yep, these 2 are also Haley. And then the very last one is Leftovers. This is the colorway, I want to say Fade Out, from Nooch Fiber on their merino nylon sock base. And then this is just a sparkly scrap that I don't know what it is, but I liked it with the fade out, so I put it together. So yeah, that brings me up to 557 pods. And I think that at the end of June, I will have another row of pods to show you. So yeah, there's that. On to new things. I got a bag of yarn from a girl at work, and I'll show you what they are. There is Scarfy, which is Lion Brand yarn, and it's kind of an ombre effect. I have a Rainbow Boucle yarn. 2 colorways of Red Heart Soft Baby Steps. A blue and purple green one, and then a blue, so those could go together for something. A skein of Peyton's Croy in the Gray Brown Marl colorway, which is a colorway I love, and then Red Heart Super Saver in the Monet colorway. And she got me a set of size 11 circular needles. So I don't know what I'm making with any of this, but it's really nice that she got it for me. Like, we're not best friends forever or anything, but I like her a lot. She's a really cool girl, so that's pretty exciting. On to reading. I finished reading Sunglasses After Dark, and I finished listening to Sense and Sensibility. I'm still listening to Deadbeat. What else was on there last week? Anything? No. And I started this book, which is the second book in the the Others series by Anne Bishop, and I only have 20 or 30 pages to go. It's really, really good. It's a fairly easy read. I talked about the first book, which was Written in Red, not very long ago. I just read it. I don't remember when I read it, but The Others is a series about an alternate reality sort of thing where werewolves and vampires basically rule the world, and other magical creatures. It's not just werewolves, it's were things, were beings. So bears, panthers, sharks, crocodiles, that sort of thing. Crows, which is why this one's called Murder of Crows, because people are murdering crows and a group of crows is called a murder. So it's really, really good. It's kind of graphic. It's urban fantasy and a little bit horror. It's a very good series. Anne Bishop is an excellent writer. In fact, the next book that I read is going to be an Anne Bishop book, so I'll be starting that probably tonight. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And then I guess all I have left for you is my plans. This was so much longer this morning when I recorded it fresh and had things to talk about. Sorry. I hate when technology fails. Anyway, so my my resolution projects for this coming month, June, are going to be Easter/spring decorations, which I'm actually really excited about because I'm making Easter wreaths. And I'm going to do it with my kids because I have a whole bunch of Mara's old clothes that I can cut up that are pastel-y and pink and stuff. And we're actually going to take 2 hangers and make wreaths out of them because Haley, who was one half of the Knit Two Together podcast, which is on a hiatus right now, she and I are going to trade parts of the wreaths. So I'm making the outside circle part with all of the fabrics and stuff tied on it. And she is making things that are going to hang inside the circle. She's making a bunny nugget, a bird of happiness, and 2 eggs for each of the wreaths, which is perfect because those are all the little fiddly things that I would hate making, but I would want. And I have plenty of materials to make 2 wreaths, so it's perfect. We're just going to swap. So I will show you probably next week some progress on a wreath or 2 because I'm going to need things for my children to do, like tying fabric to wreath forms. And the work in progress I'm going to be working on is Steve's quilt, which I will start working on tomorrow, obviously, because it's the first day of June, and I will take a picture of it. And then my June projects that are going on the blanket are going to be a fiber called Rainbow Dashing. I got it last year at the Kentucky Sheep and Fiber Festival, and it's got a blue background and stellina in it, and then rainbow colors. It's from, I'm not going to say because I'm probably going to get it wrong. It's a name that sounds like 2 or 3 other dyers to me, so yeah, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to make the cowl out of the Stitch Punk fiber that's drying right now. I'm going to make, and that's going to be the Buffalo Crossing pattern. I'm going to make a cowl for my sister, which is going to be the Scaling the Stronghold, using the Gnome Acres and Gotham Knights. It's a fingering weight, so I'm going to hold it double to make that cowl. And then I'm going to also make my sister's Christmas socks, which I'm planning on making Partying It Up and Getting Down socks for her, using the Fiber Nymph Inversible sets that I have. Not sets, it's one set. It's 2 different colors of purple. I am going to finish the Steampunkery socks, obviously. Finish this jar cozy for myself. Make socks for my nephew. I think that I showed on the podcast the blue yarn that I just finished making something out of. I think it's blue. I don't remember even what that yarn is. Next to an orange. Oh, the yarn that I made Haley's House Targaryen socks out of, which is Marigold Jen in the Yoshi colorway. And I'm going to use that with Lion Brand Sock Ease in the Red Hot colorway for heels, toes, cuffs, not toes. Not heels. Yes, toes, not heels. For toes and cuffs for that, for one of my nephews. And then I am going to make a cross stitch, which is this one right here. It is a lighthouse that my best friend and I found in her mom's room when we were going through it after she passed away. And so I'll be making that and giving it to my best friend for Christmas or something because, yeah, it was her mom's. And those are my plans for June. What are your plans? Anything grand? I've already got some ideas for July when Tour de Fleece happens, but I'll talk about that towards July. Yeah, I'm already planning July. It's not even June yet. Of course. Anyway, I hope you made something fantastic with your sticks and string, and I will see you next week, and hopefully I'll be more upbeat next week. I'm really sorry that I'm low energy. I'm just so crushed. It's so disappointing to not be packing or on a flight right now or even there already, because I was planning on going in early so I could just hang out with Josh and Haley before we went and hung out with everybody else, and I'm not. So yeah, I'm a little crushed. Yeah, next week though. See you then. Bye.